And now, with a topic that is very dear to everyone here, here is Abdulqudous with Freedom for Syria.
Hello, my name is Muhammad. I was a 13-year-old kid who lived in Syria. I was a normal kid with great ambitions. I went to school daily and I studied hard because I knew if I did, I'd be able to help my family when I grow up. I've always wanted to be a doctor. My parents used to always tell me that I was powerful, that I could do whatever I wanted in life. I believed them, so I promised them and I promised myself to work hard for a better life and to change other people's lives with my good deeds. But what I didn't know was that my life was about to change forever. A couple of weeks ago, something happened to me. Something that shocked me. Something that made me shiver to the bones. My brother, the one that always stood beside me, the one that played with me, the one that made me love God and thank Him for the things He gave me, was gone. He was killed. And I didn't know why. But every day after his death, people kept on telling me that the Assad regime was in charge of his death. I was confused. Why would the government, the people who are in charge of protecting us, do such a crime? I kept on asking my father. I needed to know the truth. I needed to know whether to love this so-called president or not. And finally, one cold day with tears in his eyes, he replied to me, "Yes, son, it is them that killed your brother." The next couple of days were different. The streets outside my house filled with people chanting words that haven't been said for over 25 years. الشعب يريد إسقاط النظام. The people demand the fall of the regime. I strongly believed in these words too, so I gathered with them daily. And every single day, people right in front of my eyes, they were being imprisoned, they were being killed. Men, women, and even little girls and boys were being tortured. And you know that one day they would take my own father, because my father was the head of the demonstrations. He was on top of Bashar al-Assad's blacklist. And yes, that day eventually came. They dragged him out of the house. I was scared, but I prayed that he would survive. From that day on, our days were difficult. No food, no water, no electricity. We were all dying slowly. One morning, the piercing screech of my mother awoke me from my deep slumber. I hurriedly ran down the stairs only to see the horrific image of my own father lying dead on the floor. His legs and his arms cut off and his face full of scars. I couldn't handle the situation anymore. I fiercely ran out of the door, ignoring the cries and pleas of my mother and overlooking the piles of bodies and puddles of blood that filled the streets. The sounds of the bullets were so loud, it felt as if my eardrums were about to explode. And yes, this was a massacre, and I knew that the distance between me and death was decreasing by the second. But I started running to the direction where the bullets were being fired. And at the top of my lungs, I yelled, "Freedom!" My running then became slower and slower, until finally, the bullets that filled my body caused me to come to a stop. As everything around me was going blurry, I looked around me and I saw all the houses being set on fire, all the mosques being blown up, all the bombs exploding everywhere, all the missiles flying in the air. I fell down to the floor, feeling numb, and I closed my eyes, and they would never open again. Yes, I was dead. So was my father, so was my brother. But all of our deaths would only contribute to the freedom of my country, the country that I love, the country that ran through my veins, Syria. And it is true, a couple of years of pain and suffering is much better than a lifetime of injustice under the oppression of this cruel regime. Thank you.